Anthony. My online profile name for this will be Archangel. For YouTube, it's Archangel 1993 1577. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make zombies in Doom. So right now we're in the Snapmap feature. Basically allows us to make your own playable maps for anyone in the world to play online. So including yourself, any of your friends, anybody. And it's really cool. Everyone can go in and rate your map. So far we've got about 20 people who have played the map. It's fairly new. I've spent a lot of time making this and testing it and running it and make sure everything all runs right. And I've had to watch a lot of tutorials. Shout out to Tackless, who made some YouTube videos on tutorials on how to do some things I couldn't figure out. He was very helpful in making a lot of this stuff. So definitely look up some of his tutorials. You can just type in Snapmap tutorial. He's one of the first people that actually pop up. He showed me how to make mostly the random stuff. All the other, most of the coding I can figure out. But essentially a lot of this is if-then statements. If you want, you can download my map. You can find it through some of the tags I attached to it. Some of those you can see right here. COD Zombies, Call of Duty. If you type this in, you're going to find my map. It's going to, well, you should. You might have to be more specific. Like, these probably have been used a lot more. But if you hit Anthony Archangel, you'll definitely find my map. This is what the cover of it looks like. And it's called Demon Zombies 1.2. So I've done 2 updates on it so far. Like I said, fairly new. Some of most of the updates I did were some patches the first time, and then the second time I had to, you know, kind of nub some things that were a little OP essentially. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go right into this. Is the starting room right here. Pretty cool. Added a teleporter. You can use that from settings. All links back to this is the mainframe from. Oh, I forgot to mention. Shoom. This is based off the map Doris from World at War, and it's also the Giant on Black Ops 3. So you can kind of see this is the mainframe. This is the room that connects to all different ways. I color coded. This is kind of like the pinkish, purple, magenta kind of looking rooms lead to this side. The blue leads to what's in the I call this the fun room. You'll see why it's the fun room pretty soon. Here, and then another teleport over here. First teleporter, second teleporter, and then the red rooms over here, third teleporter. So we're gonna and you can do any style of maps or rooms you want. You can change the function of them. My favorite one are portals. So like these right there are portals. You can build off them. And then what was it? Function kind of shows you it helps really piece things together. So like if you want a hallway or stairs or T-junctions. So also good to note, you can use transitions, so you can use hell rooms too. None of these are hell rooms. These are all just normal style rooms. But we're gonna go right into it. So I'm not gonna cover everything because some of the things are pretty basic. I don't need to tell you how to do these things for you to know how to play or make your own map. But we got player starts. I have all the settings set up on map started. That's just basically setting up all the different settings from gameplay to HUD. HUD, I have it set to where there's variables on points, which I'll get into. You gotta have points for playing zombies. Lives, and what round you're on. So that'll display on the screen when you go to play. Gameplay settings. This shows you, drops. You can disable them, whether you can revive someone or not. I have set false. I have a perk give you it. Welcome. Turning it on. How the players score. I have an intro music. And then
Zombies. Demon.
Oh, sorry.
Doom Marine.
Just say Doom Marine activated. Welcome back.
To stay alive. Demon. Zombies.
And then it'll show text demon zombies. So that's kind of like the setup of like intro to the map when you spawn in. It's pretty cool. And then over here, have a bunch of different functions to points. So on proxy, you can find that, and that's the very first thing. Right there, yeah, proxy. If you hurt a demon, basically, you gotta set it to where the killer is the activator, and non-glory kill gives you 60 points. Hurting them gives you 10, and then melee, aka glory kill, 120. So if you get 120 and 10, you get 130, which is the same as zombies. And you also have to set a variable to points. I have it set where you start at 500, and then if you're incapacitated or killed, you lose points. You revive somebody, you get points. And then over here, I have it set to where on certain ones, if you're incapacitated, it resets all the modifiers, and then on killed, it resets every single one. These are to kind of get rid of the perks. I also have a pack punch machine. It's hidden, so you don't know what it is in the very beginning of the map, but that's what it is. Yeah, this thing gives you, to kind of explain how to set this up, you enable panels so where you spend points from here, and then on spend player resources, failed, it'll say failed, like it'll give you that noise and nothing will happen. If you are successful, like pack punching, gives you more ammo and more damage. You just go to player proxy and set modifiers, and then it'll say that.
You'll need this.
So yeah, I have a little text above the panel to kind of give you a little like knowledge of like what it is you need to spend, like how much and what it is. And then I have it set to where yes, you can reuse it, but it does not start enabled, so you have to find a way to turn it on essentially. So these points are the same variable here, so it's like you're spending it at the same place. And then, so that is a player resource that can be found right here. So you click that, and then you can give it a name. You can change the icon. It's not too hard once you figure it out. Okay. Some of the other enablers are pretty easier than much easier than that. This is kind of cool over here. This is a little health generation thing. So on your player getting hurt, resets this timer. It's 6.6 seconds, and then upon it finishing, you get health back. Because this game works on like a, not like where your screen just gets more red and red, like on a number health system. I have it set to where it'll reset, just like zombies. Like, you know, you're not gonna be stuck at 10 health. You know, when you start at 50, once you get hurt, you'll regenerate. Down here is the whole proxy for how the demons spawn. It's kind of a bitch, I ain't gonna lie. There's a lot I had to figure out how to do. So it starts once the map starts, and have a bunch of different things linking together. So variables on the duration, variables on the breaks, variables on how fast they spawn, and I even set variables on these two. You just can't see them there. They're over here. So every time you finish a round, I have it set to where there's a count and a variable set. You can see integer, so integers right here. Use those for whole numbers, like a round. A round would be a whole number. So every time you finish a round, it adds 1 to the count for this, and it gives you add more to that. And then so on the round ending, it gives you more enemy damage and enemy health. So it adds 0.05 and 0.2 from what it starts at 50 each. And every round it'll just keep adding more and more points. And then every time a round changes, we're going to apply the buffs from over here to the AI proxy. So that actually, this is just saying that this just stores it into the variable. This actually stores them into the demons. And then this on change subtract, and this is the spawn rate. So subtract, I have it set to where 1/10 of a second faster each round. So gradually they're just going to keep getting faster and faster, their spawn rates. And then on spawn break started, it will also subtract from the break time that you get, and it'll subtract from 30 seconds initially to 0.5. So we're going to be 29.5, then 29, then so on and so on. And then it'll start with 30 seconds of demons, and then every time a round goes by, 31.5, 33, and so on. And then over here I have my round repeater. So it also, when the round ends, it'll go to repeater on count reaching 1, and it'll resets on 1. It starts at 0, so every round essentially. It'll reset the tier. you'll find that this conductor will go on indefinitely until everyone's dead or you complete the mission. So it's perfect for zombies, but it'll start spawning harder and harder demons, so you'll be fighting like insanely hard demons. That's not like zombies. So I have it set to where it stays at tier 1. You can actually even change the tier to like different levels too. Or I could technically, if I wanted to, I could change this count to like, or rather change this count to 2, and then it reset the tier every 2 rounds instead. So you have to face 1 round each time of harder zombies, but didn't do that. And then I have it also set to where the round changes. It adds counts to challenge round, and this does reset on count 2, but it goes up to 5. So on the 6th round, it will spawn a group demon encounter. It's customized to where it is a bunch of pinkies and specters, which are basically the dog round, and their health's actually just set at 100, and they spawn. I did in module because I found that if you did connecting module, sometimes they spawn outside places you've opened, and that just made things too. You can't progress the round until you start this. So the tricky thing is when you start something over here, you have to stop that. So while this is going on, I have it set to where this over here is being, you can kind of see it paused. Okay, and then once you defeat it, it'll resume. But it does still count as a round, and it gives you a round that's connected to all 3 of these counts. You can kind of see all of them connected right there. And this is the unfinished. So unfinished is gonna, and I have it set to where it sets a point of interest to this location. Point of interest kind of like get your attention. And so their settings are right there. That's what the icon color looks like. This is the text that will display. It'll say kill all demons, and it'll show it right here. So you know to come back to this area to fight all these demons and move on to the next step. That way, you know, let's say you were like way over here and all the demons spawn there, and this next round, then all of a sudden there's nothing around you. You need something to kind of direct you back. So I put a point of interest, so you're not just wandering around aimlessly. And then I have it set while this round's going on, playing this, you know, tense music. Kind of adds to the whole challenge of the round. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, it will also display challenge round.
Going to feed on.
So a little taunt. Up here, let's go back over here. So this count over here, you probably wonder what this is. So there's referenced round and round survive. Your goal is to get to 50. You don't know that, but it's kind of like a little hidden secret, a little Easter egg, if you will. If you get to round 51, because you start at 1 plus 50, 51, it'll say impressive. On count reach, show impressive, and then it will also, if you can follow this little line, we'll start all this different line of text.
Difficulty increase. Hardcore. Goodbye.
Welcome to hell.
So, little intense, and it'll also just show this message. Now the real fun begins. Good luck, you'll need it, and it'll do a new conductor, and this conductor, just so you know, does not reset the tier every time. So each time it's just going to get harder, and believe me, eventually it's going to be insane. But what's nice is because it's round 51, you know, you've had time to set up, get all the perks you need, all the guns you need, so you'll be ready. But I mean, this is so like, because like, you could probably, even though it would be harder each round, it's not the death process to end quicker, you know, and it's still competitive, so like it keeps you on your toes. Because eventually you kind of get into a groove. It kind of throws a curveball into it.
Has ended.
So this is what it will say on break started.
They will do it again. There is no escape.
So that's every time a round ends, and then every time it begins.
Has begun.
And then music every time. Some hell music I put in there. Okay, so that's just kind of that's just the AI. Those are 3 separate ones, but they're all connected. You gotta remember too, every time you activate one, you have to deactivate the other. Important little note. These are my panels so they are under interactables. I have it set to where, and you kind of saw a little brief interview from this on the Pack-a-Punch. So place a panel down. I put some text above it so you can see. Note, the text is right here. Play whatever you want. Notice how my objects went up 0.4%. Text takes up a lot of space, so be careful on how much text you are going to use. I color code them based off of what they're going to possibly give you. So ammo's green, yellow's weapons, white's doors, that pinkish magenta color was Pack-a-Punch. And so what it does, on used, spend 500 of your points.
Authorization denied.
If you are unsuccessful,
Authorization denied.
and then nothing will happen. If you are successful, it will give you weapon, and it, oh, sorry, I gotta click on this. Gives you a burst rifle. So it sends that right to your inventory. Boom, you got a burst rifle for 500 points. And then if you're running out of ammo, you get 250 for ammo, just like in zombies. And then over here, opening door, 750. Same exact thing, and what's nice is you can click R2, and you can actually move. So once you've already made it once, you only have to change a couple things. Once you, oops, didn't mean to click that. It won't let me copy and paste the whole thing because the text takes too much space. But this is how you make sure you click everything. See, like almost missed this. Or else you have to go back and re-click everything, or just move that one individually. So you'd hit L2 when you're hovering right over it, and you hit duplicate. It won't let me because the map's full. So you can see my things are almost at 100. Unclick those two things. So now I can move this wherever I want. And it's all set up for me, so I don't have to re-type in all the stuff again, which would be annoying considering how many I have of those. And you can do that for anything, by the way, which is nice. So, what was I going to say next? So we can move that wherever we want. Oh yeah, so that's nice when it translates to making these. The only things you're going to have to change is the spend value, the text name, the text cost, if it's a different cost, and then what it will give you on succeeding. And you can also change the speaker text. So like for doors, I have it set to where it says access denied instead. And then always opens the doors on succeeding. And then I have it set to where it hides the panel after you open the door, because there's no need for this panel once you've used it. So you can kind of see that. Hide, and then it's connected to all the different things. And then I have a door opener here and a door opener here. So you can see I just copied and pasted them and moved them around. This is a perk machine. It's called Quick Revive. Probably recognize it from the game. That's how much it cost. And then, no, started disabled. So enabled false, so disabled. And I allow you to reuse. Make sure those are both set like that if you want to set it to where you have to turn this thing on and you want to be able to keep using it. I have it set to where it makes you revive people, and it shows you health bars, so you can kind of see how your teammates are doing, or if you need to try to heal them, or be able to be there to revive them, or give them extra help. So it's definitely a useful perk to have. But if you can see, there's something you have to do to enable it. Hint, hint, turn on power, just like the zombies. And then what's cool is that this thing does not stack, so you can't just keep buying Quick Revive, and like it's only going to change the settings once. However, if you do die or go down, you're gonna have to buy it again. So that's why it's enabled multiple times, and that's some of the zombies. You go down, you lose your perks. So and on you changing the setting, I'll say upgraded.
Survival.
Your survival's been upgraded. So now, once you open this door, we can go into the ping. Over here, there's different doors along the way, different hallways. Put a shotgun, ammo, basically the trench gun. Opening the door for 1250. This leads to the first teleporter room. Here's the first teleporter. This one costs 1500. I use the cylinder triggers, you'll see. The ones over here in this room are more just for aesthetic. Like this doesn't actually really do anything. Like this, that's just for looks. But this, because of how I coded it, you actually have to click this trigger to enable this teleporter. And I have it only set to where you have to turn the power on and then walk on this trigger right there, and it will, upon entering, you can click down on the arrow pad, and it'll show you the links, different links you have, and you just put left and right to move along. So let's see. We're gonna move along. Enable volume. So you can kind of see that. Basically the same process as the panels on trigger use, spend, points, denied. On success, it enables the teleporter, and then I have it set to where every time you successfully spend your resource on using this, it will go towards a variable I'm about to get into. But what it also happens, every time you use the teleporter first time, it gets disabled. So, that's a cool little neat thing. Note, you do not need teleporters to make your own zombie map. I just did that because I was trying to make Derice, and in Derice there's teleporters, so I gotta make it a little more fun. Plus it gives you an objective to do, and it also gives you like a little strategy for when you're playing, like you can escape real quick if you're in trouble. So this is the teleport destination. You can go to that. Where was that little thing? Right here. Teleport destination. This is how you make the teleport paths. It's under gameplay. So I have it set to where on arrived, you disable the teleporters over there, disable the teleporter over there, and over here. Yep. And then, so teleporters used. This is the reference to that. So there is 3. It keeps adding to that as the variable, and then on the count, it goes to 3 and does not reset on count. So every time you successfully spend your points to teleport, it will add 1 to this. If you've been kind of following along here, you can only use this one once before it's disabled. And then you can use this one once before it's disabled. And then you can use this one once before it's disabled. Once all 3 have been used and linked to the mainframe, then all 3 will be re-enabled, so you can teleport as many times as you want, and the Pack-a-Punch will be activated. So that's kind of like a multi-step type thing you gotta do here. It took a little while to figure out exactly how I wanted to do this and how the if-then statements are all be connected. And I know this looks super confusing because of all the blue lines, but it's nice. Like I said, you can highlight them and it kind of singles them out so you know exactly what you're working with. So kind of similar to this count over here, I used the count over here as well. Counts can be found over, where was this? No, I think I passed it. Shoot. Let's go back. No. There we go. Counts. Counts just basically go to a certain number, and then on reaching that number they do something. So if you kill yourself or get killed, it adds to the count 4. It starts at 0 and goes all the way up to 4. Okay? And then it also adds the counts of lives. So it starts at 4, and then if you die or commit suicide somehow, you lose 1. So this is the variable that will display on the HUD. This is the variable that will cause the action on count reach to end in defeat and end the game.
Game over.
Give you that little speaker to play that. So that's how counts work. And I also, if you remember, used the count to set hardcore mode and use as repeater. So counts can be used for a multitude of different things. This life, if you can see in the left-hand corner, is integer. Integers are used for whole numbers. Let's see, right here. Integers, and what's nice is that you can put it down, and see you can see all different ones I've used. You can say they're useful, and you can give them different names. So let's say click on this one. You can hit square, name whatever you want, choose icon. Just it's mostly for organization. And then okay, so that's how you get everything all set up if you want to run lives, at least for that, and if you want to have teleporters. So yeah, let's go this way now. So I'm kind of zooming out, and if you guys want to make me to make individual tutorials, please make comments below, and I'll start from scratch and make teleporters and show you how to make them work. They're not too difficult once you start clicking on them and seeing how they connect to each other, because there's not too many variables connected to teleporters. It's more what you branch off that can get complicated. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to the fun room. So this is the second room you can go through. And this room might cause you to have a little shock. Because it is insane. So you can see there is so much coding. And this is where Tackless really came in handy here, helping me make, if you guessed it, the mystery box. You can't play zombies without a mystery box. So I had to set one up. I used some of the ideas was in his videos on the tutorial, and I just kind of ran with it. A lot of this also was kind of some trial and error stuff, but same idea. Panel, text, you spend points, 950.
Mission successful.
And on activating, what you're going to have to do is test a boolean. This is the boolean. I didn't even know what a boolean was before I watched this tutorial, which was nice. It's basically a multi-layered like variable. So you can set booleans true or false. It's another type of variable on like certain things happening.
Weapon.
And it's basically a stackable variable, and you can set it true once you've successfully spent your points. And then you can test it, and then on it being tested true, because you have to set it true and then test it, and then once it sees it's true, that's essentially what this just said right there. It's going to do all these different lines that are connected to this. So the first line we're going to talk about is easy. Play music. Cool. Next one is repeater. Repeater on signaled. Oh, let's click on the repeater first with triangle. So didn't set this off. Repeat 25 times over 0.2 second intervals, so it's going to last 5 seconds. And then on that repeater being signaled, it's going to make a random integer between 1 and 17. These are all the different weapons and equipment that you can get, and it's going to signal that, so it's going to go into this variable between 0. It's going to store at the end of the repeater being done, or finishing, I should say. So then it's also, once the repeater starts, it's going to start a relay. Relays send, you can kind of read it, will pass along any input signal to all its outputs. That's saying it'll run all of these things. So as this goes through, as the random integer splits between 1 through 17, every time it's equal to one of those numbers, integer compare, which is right here. You can also do number compare, just FYI. So I'll click on it. If it's left hand side, hit L2 squared to change. And I don't want to change it, but let's set it to 0 so I can show you. So this is random box selection. See how you can see the little bullets and stuff? That is this thing right here. So if this is equal to 1, hence equal, it'll display this text, chain gun Gatling, which is the same one which we'll get into later from over here. If this is equal to 1, it'll spawn you chain gun. It's all connected. So like you're standing here and there will be world text, you can't see it, but it's connected to a random name over here. And so as you can imagine, this being changed, let's see, 0.2 to 25. So yeah, it's going to be changing quite a few amount of times above, and every time it's being changed, you're going to see a different weapon text above. So it's going to say chain gun, BFG, ammo dispenser. It's going to just keep changing all the different types of things, of whatever you have set, you know, rocket launcher, shotgun, anything like that. That's what this is for. It's an aesthetic thing, not actually necessary, but it's so that like when you're playing, it's kind of exciting. Like, you know, when you could see the gun spinning around, well, instead you see the text above that says like, oh, this is, it's kind of like, you know, like a little wheel of different weapons. So you have to set up each integer compare, set equal, and set the text for every single hell shot, heavy assault rifle, gas cannon. And so that's how you do that. And then following this also line over here, it's It's gonna set timer that goes on for 12 seconds, and then upon that timer ending, it's gonna remove the weapon. That way, it just doesn't stay there indefinitely. And then it's also, upon the boolean being tested true, it's going to send a relay over here that's going to test all these integer compares. Hint, hint, 1 through 17. So on it being 1, remember it gives you the chain gun. On 2, it gives you something else. And then what I also did too, this is something I also added. In case, let's use the BFG for example. That's basically the wonder weapon of the game. If you get the BFG, I made it so where if you by chance get it again, you're not like, oh, I got the same gun, you're dumb, it's not a total waste. It gives you ammo too every time you get it. It gives you 100, which you'll never have 100 BFG ammo. I think it maxes out like 20, but still, it gives you max ammo. And I did that for all the weapons. It gives you 100 ammo, which for some guns isn't as much, but for like rockets and BFG, it really gives you extra. So, like I said, your 950 points you put into it will not be a loss if you're not at full ammo. I guess the only scenario would be if you had full BFG ammo and then went to use this, and then you'd be still just stuck at full ammo. But then, so upon all these signals happening, we are going to, on the weapon being picked up, we're going to set this to false. Set false, test it, and then once it's changed, on it being changed, so this is changing it right here, it's going to retest it, and then upon it being retested, now that it knows it's false, it's going to stop and reset the timer for next time, and then it's going to stop the music, and then it's also going to hide these things over here. So I have it set to when you come to this box, it's just the box and the closed lid. But when you hit the button, it opens it. You can kind of see the open door, but as you can see the eyeball with the eye thing through it. It's not actually visible when you first come to it. And the little box trigger here, it's just basically the lights from the box. That's just aesthetic stuff. That way it looks like when you spend money, the box opens. And then, so that's when it's tested true, you'll see that. So like when the weapon's spawning, and then upon it being false, so when the box is done spawning, it'll close the lid and turn off the light. And then over here was another thing Tackless showed me. So the nice thing about this is it's random, 1 through 17. You never know what you're going to get between those numbers. A bunch of different combinations. Similar thing is over here. It's a little bit different though, but it still uses integer compare. So every time you kill Activator Demon, any death, it'll do random integer 1 to 50. And it'll test the integer compare. If it's 1, so 2% chance, 1 out of 50, and it's equal, it will signal a random relay. Relays, like I said before, they send all the different inputs to all the different outputs you have. This one isn't like that, except it chooses only 1. So there's 7 different power-ups you can get, right? So what you have to do is hit equal, hit it to that, and you have to make sure you have this set for each different one you want. Because like if I was to connect this to all of them, it'll do both at the same time. So you have to make sure between what you want it to do and the random relay, you have to have one of these each time. So let's go through like each one. There will be a little container. It's nuke. It's a spiked ball, and that's the color of it. It's like a gold. And then it'll give you some resources, 400. The nice thing about containers is that you can change this to give you different resources for the players, and then it should give you the amount. And then you can also do transfers and percentages, but I don't use those. And then containers pretty cool. Tackless is a video where he shows all the different containers, but I'll just show you real quick too. So like that was a spiked ball. Let's look up a spiked ball. So there is this is where you go to do the spawn container, but to actually see one that'll just be there, let's check it over here. It's right here, container. And there's a bunch of different ones. You can go through all the different ones, clock, burst ball. Let's go to spike ball. Oops, wrong way. There's a helmet, glove, long name, don't know how to say that, pyramid, wrench. Oh, spike ball. So it'll be this color, gold. That'll give you a nuke. The nuke, let's delete this, L2 triangle to delete. this this nuke will set the AI inactive for 30 seconds, so it buys you some time. It's pretty nice. And it'll say that little text.
Dematerializing. You can now proceed.
And then it'll show you a message. Nuke. And then over here is blood money. I have it set to it just gives you 1,000 points. Nifty little thing right there. Over here we have double points. It sends the gameplay settings, or sorry, score settings to give you twice as much. Max ammo gives you ammo packs, and then I also set inventory to give you ammo as well. Just make sure you get full ammo. And then over here we have insta kill. Just basically spawns the quad damage power up, which is basically insta kill. Over here you have also hammer. It pauses the spawning for like 20 seconds or so. And then it also gives you the power up haste, so you can kind of move around and do some stuff. And then this one will spawn a chain gun, which you can actually keep, and then it'll spawn insta kill. So you basically have a minigun that will melt the zombies, or demon zombies, whatever. And then what's cool is I set it to where upon this being true, where they are equal, there's 2 different timers going on. One that removes all the timers, or I'm sorry, all the droppables. That way they don't just stay there forever. There's a limited time the droppable will stay on the map. That's 15 seconds. And then one over here that lasts for 30, which is how long the power-up lasts. And this will reset everything to where the power-up doesn't stay with you. And then over here, I have another point of interest set up to where you got to turn the power on. It's just an interactable little thing you can come up to. And once you turn on the power, I have it linked to things like the teleporters and the perk machines and different things that you'll need to use. So you will need to turn this on. Put little spark things around here too. They turn off once you turn it on. It's kind of cool. My little interpretation of turning the power on in zombies. And then you go through this door. You can buy a chainsaw. Basically the Bowie knife. It's 3,000. Over here you got mule kick. Same thing as a weapon for gun, or same thing as like the trigger for guns. It's 4,000. It's quite a bit. I have it set to where on the player loadout it gives you the max weapons 3. So 3. Make sure you don't hit, like if I was to connect the two, don't hit give loadout, because then you'd be giving them all these weapons here. You don't want to do that. So then also it makes it to where your equipment cools down faster. So basically, hold more weapons, use your equipment faster. It's a nice little perk to have. You're definitely going to need that one. And then I have some guns over here. Static rifle, you can buy ammo for it. And then another one of the teleporters. And shield wall, it's one of the equipments. So I kind of modeled this one to be kind of like that back room in Doris. You know, have the stairs you climb up. It's not perfect, but it's the best I could do with the template they gave me. I didn't like that this underground part I put over here, because you fall down, and once you fall down, you can't jump back up because there's no ledge grab I set on the settings. You come out up top here. Wanted you to come down here, but couldn't do that. So, this is the same room as that ledge, and like if you can imagine, the mystery box would be right there. And you're looking this way. But in the other way it's flipped. But like I said, couldn't make it perfect. Alright, so then that's the blues. I don't think I mentioned, oh yeah, here's Juggernaut, by the way. Forgot to show you this. Juggernaut's right over here. I have it set to where it gives your player 2.5 times the amount of health. Definitely a useful perk to have. Can't survive zombies without Juggernaut. That's common knowledge. Okay, and then in this room, by the way, I have it set to where you can buy a Tesla rocket, and over here, that's just another equipment, another health shot, basically an energy weapon. If you notice too, to get to each teleporter, you got to open 3 doors. These doors over here just kind of connect. This one opens these 2, which is kind of nice. And then I also have it set to where, kind of like in Doris, you fall down in the center part and you can't get back up on both sides. And this leads over to where the red is. So you come down here, open this door, weapon, you got a catwalk above, just like Doris. Window you can kind of look at, just kind of decorative. And then up here, let's see, another door opening. And then on this side, there is stamina up. Have another blue, 2000. Lets you move faster. And then it'll like say, speed upgrade.
Speed bonus.
And then for the final room, you gotta cross the catwalk, open the door. I got a teleporter down there again. It's all linked up and everything. And then a siphon grenade steals health from demons. And a heavy assault rifle. So kind of designed it to where each final room had the teleporter, had a weapon, and had equipment. So 1, 2, 3, and then this main entrance room. And so essentially what you got to do is just keep surviving and fighting wave after wave of zombies, cooperating with the team. You get 4 lives. There's a HUD displaying all your points, all your lives, what rounds you're on, and you just gotta, make it as far as you can, try to kill as many things as you can, and get as high as you can in the leaderboards. And you can use the droppables that are randomized on a 2% chance to kill the demons. They'll help you, keep up your ammo supply and, kill them faster. You've got a weapon box that you can only get unique weapons at that are modded too. So like, if you want the combat shotgun that has explosive shot, you can only get that out of the box. And then you can buy perks, to give you 3 weapons, quick revive perk to revive teammates, juggernaut to give you more health, stamina up to give you more speed. And so you gotta use combinations of everything to help you as much as you can. Obviously, each time you play it will be a little different, just because of how things are randomized. And that's what makes it more fun too, because as you're playing each round, because of these 2 things mostly, it'll be randomized on exactly what you'll be getting, as far as like what you're spending your points on, or like what happens after you kill something. And then every 6th round, you got a challenge round where it's basically a dog round. And of course, it's an AI, so the AIs won't spawn the same units over and over again. Like it'll spawn a different mix-up of different things. And then when you get into hardcore, it'll spawn even more different types of demons. So you got to figure out more complex ways of how to survive. But this is basically the end of the tutorial for Doom Demon Zombies is what I called it. If you want to kind of see, this is what my map looks like. If you want to try and play it, so it's version 1.2. You can look up it with these tags. If you type in my name Anthony, or Call of Duty Zombies, or just Call of Duty, or Demon Zombies, the name of the map, my name, or my online profile name, you will be able to find it and be able to play it. Anthony or Archangel is probably the best tag to look for it. But it's right on the first page. I should be able to show you that real quick, where you can go to find my map. Let's just save it real quick. But definitely, if you like this tutorial, don't hesitate to subscribe. I'll be releasing more videos on some gameplay with my brother, and maybe some also other players. We played with up to 4 people at once, which is pretty cool. Just like zombies. What's nice is when you publish this, everyone can play this online. So far, let's see. I've got 10 likes. 22 people have played it. So a couple more people played it today. Usually when I update it, some more people play it. Let's see, info. So it kind of shows you just kind of the basic breakdown. You can also download my map. That's kind of cool. So you don't have to remake everything I did. There's the map ID in the corner if you want to look for the more specific tag. It's PMKKLW3N. And the rating is nice. Definitely, if you play this map, drop it a like. Also drop this video a like if you found it helpful. I'd also appreciate any comments or anything you want me to cover, and specifically if you're having trouble. Also, I'm totally open to suggestions if you want to add things that I could have added to the map, or any feedback is awesome. So yeah, definitely subscribe. Archangel 1993 1577 on YouTube. My two online profiles have been Archangel, and then you can see there down there P-RicanGypsyJew. That's the one I play with mostly right now. My friend gave me that name. Yeah, I'm hoping to get another video where I actually play the map, so you can kind of see exactly what it looks like, other than the coding of it. Coding obviously was pretty intense. You can see all the different lines connecting. But the way to find it, other than the code, is you just go to search right there, and then you can search by keyword. So watch, I'll type in Archangel for example. And if I click that, search, there's two maps. Guess what? Both my maps. This was kind of my first map I made. Didn't turn out as well as I wanted it to, but a lot of it was just figuring things out. But this turned out much better, and so far it's been really cool. So, thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you next time.